Coffee, tea, energy drinks, pre-workout, caffeine. Not because they are thirsty, not because they enjoy the taste, but because without it, something feels wrong. The headache starts, the exhaustion creeps in, the brain slows down, and suddenly the most socially accepted drug on earth begins to reveal what it really is. Because caffeine is not food, it is not nutrition. It is a chemical weapon plants evolved to kill insects. And somehow, humans turned it into the fuel of modern civilization. That is strange, because almost no one thinks of themselves as addicted to caffeine. Yet millions of people say the exact same thing every morning. Don't talk to me until I've had my coffee. Imagine how insane that sentence would sound if it applied to almost any other drug. But caffeine is different, not because it changes your brain less, but because society built itself around the addiction. And the deeper scientists studied caffeine, the stranger the story became. Because caffeine does not actually give you energy. That is the first illusion. It only convinces your brain that you are not tired. Every hour you stay awake, your brain slowly fills with a chemical called adenosine. Adenosine is pressure, sleep pressure. The longer you stay awake, the more it builds. Your brain is literally tracking how exhausted you are becoming. Eventually, adenosine binds to receptors in your brain and tells your body the truth. You are tired. Your reaction speed drops. Your focus weakens. Your body wants rest. Then caffeine arrives. And caffeine does something almost terrifyingly clever. It blocks the receptors, not permanently, just long enough to silence the signal. The exhaustion never disappears. Your brain simply stops hearing it. That boost you feel in the morning is not energy entering your body. It is exhaustion being temporarily hidden. And the craziest part is this. Your brain adapts very quickly because your brain hates imbalance. When caffeine repeatedly blocks adenosine receptors, your brain responds by building more receptors, more places for exhaustion to connect, which means over time, the same amount of caffeine stops working. 1 cup becomes 2, 2 becomes 3. A small coffee becomes an energy drink, then pre-workout, then espresso, and eventually, something strange happens. Caffeine stops making you feel energized. It only makes you feel normal. That is the moment dependency begins. Because now the caffeine is no longer creating stimulation. It is removing withdrawal. The headache you feel without coffee is not your natural state. It is your brain reacting to the absence of the drug it adapted to expect. Your exhaustion feels heavier. Your focus disappears. Your mood crashes. Not because you suddenly became weak, but because your brain has recalibrated itself around caffeine. And billions of people experience this every single day without ever calling it addiction. Because caffeine hides inside culture, inside routine, inside comfort. Office workers holding coffee cups like survival equipment. Students drinking stimulants at 2 a.m. to force their brains through exhaustion. Gym culture turning caffeine into liquid adrenaline. Entire cities synchronizing themselves around coffee breaks. Modern life rewards artificial wakefulness, and caffeine became the perfect tool for it. During the Industrial Revolution, coffee houses exploded across Europe. Not taverns, not bars, coffee houses. Places where exhausted workers, businessmen, scientists, and politicians gathered to chemically extend productivity. Some historians even call coffee houses the operating system of the modern intellectual world. Because caffeine changed something fundamental. Alcohol slows societies down. Caffeine speeds them up. And once factories, corporations, deadlines, and 24-hour productivity became normal, humanity stopped listening to its own exhaustion. For most of human history, darkness meant rest. Now darkness means another energy drink, another shift, another deadline, another hour staring into artificial light while chemically overriding sleep. The modern world is not powered by electricity alone. It is powered by stimulants. And caffeine became so normalized that people stopped noticing how deeply psychological the addiction really is. Because caffeine is emotional. The morning coffee is not just chemistry, it is ritual. The warm cup, the smell, the routine, the moment of peace before the chaos begins. Humans become attached to patterns faster than almost anything else. Eventually, the brain links caffeine to safety, focus, productivity, comfort, even identity. People do not just drink coffee, they become coffee drinkers. And once something becomes identity, it becomes much harder to question. But caffeine always collects its payment eventually, because the energy was borrowed, not created. Caffeine delays exhaustion. It does not erase it. Your brain keeps the receipt, sleep quality drops, stress hormones rise, anxiety increases. The nervous system stays stimulated longer than it was designed to, and millions of exhausted people respond to this exhaustion with more caffeine, creating a loop that slowly becomes invisible. Wake up tired, consume stimulant, crash later, sleep worse, wake up more tired, consume more stimulant, repeat over and over until being tired starts feeling normal. And maybe that is the strangest part of all. Human beings evolved around sunlight, rest, and natural rhythms. Then we invented a civilization that demands constant output. And to survive inside that system, billions of people now begin every morning with the same psychoactive chemical, a plant defense toxin, a weapon meant to kill insects, now sitting comfortably in ceramic mugs across the planet, because caffeine did something no other drug has ever done. It disguised itself as productivity, as ambition, as routine, as adulthood. And somewhere along the way, humanity stopped asking a very important question. If we need a stimulant every single morning just to feel normal, what does that say about the way we live now? Maybe caffeine is not the strange part. Maybe the strange part is the world that made it feel necessary.